We basically recorded this back in like 2017. So
Today we're gonna talk about camping.
What up, guys, and welcome to this episode of Jam Talk.
Yes, today's Jam Talk, we're gonna cover something we've done our whole lives. I still enjoy doing it. I love camping.
It's been a while since I've been, but I mean, I want to.
Last summer, over July, my wife and I went every weekend.
Really?
Camping. Yep. Like 6 straight weeks.
Okay, honestly, when I was on my mission, I just remember thinking, man, I wish I could go camping. I just missed it so much. I really wanted to go camping. I really wanted to just sit by a fire.
There's like a connectivity with the outdoors that you're just like, man, back to my roots. Back to where humans should be. Not really, but
no.
But you know, yeah, we're out there just one with nature. Not really, but also like you're there in nature. You're really in it.
Something that really got us started into camping. Honestly, most of our camping trips from scouting, from
True.
Boy Scouts of America.
True. Yeah. We both did the Boy Scouts program.
Mm-hmm. Both Eagle Scouts. Yes. I remember, I think this was my second scout camp.
Right.
And we're at like Fire Mountain, right? But this one was different because there were foreign people there. And it was like from, they were Danish.
And this is and in other countries the scouts have both boys and girls. I didn't know where you're going with
the
this
same
story.
program. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they had
Danish girls there.
Danish foreign women.
And they were attractive. Everyone knew it. And everyone's like, man, they're attractive. Like, these girls look really good.
No.
But mostly the reason that made them attractive is because they were the only girls there.
Yes, I was just saying this is the reason is you're in a camp with all boys.
and then they're foreign on top of it, so you're like, man.
So dumb.
It was dumb. I wasn't even really into girls back then. I mean, I wasn't into guys either.
Thanks for clearing
Probably
that
didn't
up.
need to say that. Anyways, okay, so I just wasn't into dating or anything at that time.
Gotcha. Yeah,
That's what I'm getting at.
but you had guys in your group that were.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was a little lonely. This all is coming out so wrong. Okay, a little lonely as in like, I didn't have very many friends, right? I felt left out of the group. So I just joined whatever group. So I decided to hang around the group of friends. And they started doing some not so good stuff. Like, we had a curfew, right? It was probably like 10:30, something like that, where we had to be back at camp, 10:30. These particular guys decided to stay out late
And try and sneak in.
and hang out with the girls. And the girls agreed to it.
Oh no!
So, did you know about this?
No, I remember you telling me about this.
Okay.
But I don't remember.
Yeah,
I wasn't there.
Okay, we got into huge trouble, all right?
Of course you did.
Yeah. So we went and hung out with them, and we're like at like the main camp area, right, where they got the little bleachers and everything.
Sure.
We're chilling over there. And we're like hiding because there's like the security or whatever walk around with like flashlights at night, feeling like we're in like some movie, like dodging the security where they're like walking around with a little flashlight. Gotta avoid their flashlights, they don't see us. So we're like ducking down, like, oh man. But then I'm like, hey guys, I think we should go back. Me being the goody two shoes that I was.
That he is no longer. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I didn't want to get in trouble for that.
Right.
But I was so goody two shoes and scared of the dark because it was dark out. I didn't want to go back alone. It was on the complete other side of the lake.
Okay.
So I couldn't go back, and no one agreed to go back. No one wanted to go back. Everyone wanted to stay there. I'm like, guys, I think we should go back before it's curfew. And they're like, no, we're fine. So I stayed because that was actually probably the right thing to do.
Rather than
rather than go
out on my own. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, always have the buddy system. That's what you learn in
so
Scouts.
the buddy system, I stuck to the buddy system. Figured that rule was more important than the curfew rule. I need to stay with this guy, with this group, so that nothing happens to me. And so I stay with them. Eventually they leave, the girls, whatever. We go back to camp and they're waiting for us, like, and Brother Peterson, right? He's such a humorous guy, right? When we get back, he's like, "Oh, you guys are in trouble." And this guy's like 40.
Yeah.
This guy's in like his 40s, like, "You guys are in trouble, man."
Oh,
Like,
that's funny.
Because he wasn't gonna be the one to enforce it. He just knew we were gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because he's the first tent that we walk past when we go into our camp. And so we were in trouble, and they forced us to. We had to like go spread gravel, and I'm like trying to convince them, like, no, I wasn't really a part of this. I only stayed because I had to, but gotta punish everyone.
Yeah. Equal
So,
punishment.
equal
for
punishment.
being the follower. Well, this reminds me of one of my first scouting experiences, which was not necessarily the best, where we went on a winter camp out. And
It was cold.
winter camping is just not my thing. I really love camping, but not when it's below zero.
I agree.
Yeah.
And so, where do you stay in winter camping? In a cabin? No, that's not where you stay. You stay in an Adirondack, which
is basically a cabin with a missing wall.
with a missing wall.
And windows with no glass.
Yep.
Yeah, I stayed in one too.
So pretty much outdoors. Pretty much just sleeping outside.
And it's like below zero.
Yes. So we're
cold.
This is one of my first camping experiences. I think this was my first camping.
That's a terrible first camping experience.
As a scout. I'd done camping as a kid with my parents all the time. It was a lot of fun. And so we go, and I didn't have older brothers. I'm the oldest.
So I didn't have any sort of preparation. I brought like a sleeping bag, and I was like, this will be the warmest. It wasn't an insulated bag. It was like a blanket, like a comforter.
Oh no.
With that folded and zipped up like a sleeping bag. And I thought, yeah, because it's comforter, it'll be really warm. And then I packed regular clothes. And I don't remember all the details, but I talked to people that were there, and they reminded me that for pajamas, I brought shorts. I don't know what I was thinking there. I was just like, yeah, it'll be fine. And so we go, and
Dude, I just slept in my jeans because I didn't want to change. It
Yeah.
was too cold to change.
Yeah, so I
Attempted to get into pajamas for some reason. I don't know why I was thinking this, but I was already cold in the coat. I was like, I'll get in my pajamas. And so I'm in my sleeping bag, and I am freezing to death. And it's like 1 in the morning, and I'm just like, I didn't think, and I was like, I was so cold. And so I put back on my coat and stuff, and because the other older guys were like, you should probably put on more layers. And I'm like, okay. So I put them on, and I basically just like, and I remember falling asleep shivering. I was so cold I fell asleep. I probably could have died or something.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, my experience wasn't that bad. I
It
was
was
prepared.
It was the coldest night of the year that day.
Are you serious?
Yes, it was. Here's
Wonderful.
the thing: you had preparation because you had me, who had gone,
Mhm.
and you had people you could talk to and ask, like, what should I bring? Me, I had Vuvu, and Vuvu said, pack light, bring half a toothbrush, and
That's always what he says.
and you only need 1 pair of pants.
He always criticized me for bringing too much.
Yes, yeah.
And it never was a problem for me
Which
bringing too
let's
much.
remember, he's heavy into scouting, loves scouting, great scouter. But he never did scouts. Like he wasn't part of the scouting program as a kid. So he never went on those like.
He never went on any winter things.
No, he didn't do that.
He would sleep in his trailer when you'd go.
Yeah.
He didn't get the full. Yeah, probably not the best advice to get from as far as sleeping goes.
No. But camping was always a lot of fun. So over this last little while, my wife and I have been getting into camping. There's a spot out here in Idaho that we like to go that's free and right off of the Snake River. And we take little rafts and we bought them at the dollar store. Actually, we bought them at Albertsons for $1. And they're those like long bed-looking inflatable tubes, just a cheap little one.
Okay.
And we just lazy float down the river. And it's great because the Snake River is called the Snake River because it slithers. And so we're camping out on one of these little peninsulas, so you can go from one side of where you're camping, go around the river and pull off right where you were camping, and then go back again. And it goes in a nice little loop.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And so we did that, and there are points where the river is so shallow, it's like 3 inches. Because over the summer, the river gets really, really
Dry.
shallow. Yeah. But it's a blast. And then
You bring, what's the default camping meal is a hobo dinner. Tinfoil dinners.
Tinfoil dinners.
We call them tinfoil dinners. My
Everyone
wife
else I knew
them-
calls them hobos.
calls them
It's
hobo
probably
dinners.
more known as hobo dinners.
And
you just take a big hunk of hamburger, throw in carrots, potatoes, some veggies.
Oh yeah.
Season it up.
I even put apples in there once. Because I
That
had
would be yummy.
Because this was for the purpose of I had to go everything on the food pyramid, right?
Yeah.
So I had to eat everything in the food pyramid in that meal.
Oh, so you put apples?
Apples in there and cheese. Apples and cheese cooked, surprisingly delicious.
yes, cheese is a great addition. I learned that one recently. And those are so good. So good, in fact, that we actually had them for dinner like a couple weeks ago, making it in our oven.
Without me.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm insulted.
And you should be.
No, just kidding. But so you have
you can
that,
just cook it in your. That's a great idea.
and then
I
you
need
have,
to do that.
You just put it on a pan so the juices don't spill into the oven.
Oh,
Put it on a
okay.
pan, and then you've got a foil dinner, and it's good.
Oh my gosh, I need to do that.
The one thing that you cannot replicate at home is good camping dessert. A s'more cannot be replicated at home the way that you can do it in a fire. Like, you need to have a fire to make a s'more. Fun fact about me, I can limitlessly eat s'mores.
I can't. They're too sweet.
I can. I will eat s'mores until I eat s'mores until the fire dies. Like everybody eats like 2 or 3 and they're done. I will cap at like 15 because everybody's going to bed. Like, I love them. I think they are so good. It is definitely my favorite dessert. Definitely my favorite food. It's
Yeah.
such a good
You loved it so much you wanted to open up a little s'mores stand.
S'more store.
S'more store. That's what it's called. And you'd make all these different kinds of s'mores.
Oh, yeah, with different, because you can make
Okay,
it.
we mapped this out. Do you remember this?
Yeah, as kids.
We like wrote all the different types of s'mores we
Right.
make.
You can have Reese's cup s'mores.
Which
if
is
you
delicious.
haven't
One of
tried
my
that,
favorites.
do it. It's so good.
Kit Kat's pretty good too.
Kit Kats. I like doing it with the white chocolate cookies and cream Hershey bars.
I've tried that. Not my favorite.
It's pretty good.
Nutella.
Yes.
I haven't tried this yet, but I think it would be delicious. Cookie butter. Cookie butter on s'mores. That would be so good. Or any type, like that brand from Trader Joe's. There's like cookies and cream stuff too.
Yeah.
Comes out of the same jar. That'd be delicious. That was good on ice cream. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if there's a way to combine s'mores with ice cream?
there is. You can buy s'mores ice cream at the store.
No,
but
no,
that's
no,
never
no,
as
no.
good.
Combined like a s'more and ice cream, like an ice cream sandwich.
What if you get freeze-dried ice cream? That'd be probably really gross, actually.
It'd probably burn.
Well, you don't cook the ice. You don't cook the freeze-dried ice cream.
on the s'more.
What you'd do is you'd use the freeze-dried ice cream as like, you just put it in between the graham crackers.
I just had a thought though. So, have you had Starburst that's been roasted in the fire?
Yeah.
It's good. It melts it to a point that it becomes gooey, like a chocolate
So if
type
you stuff
substance.
that inside a marshmallow.
Yes, that is exactly where I was going with this. What if you do Starburst s'mores? We're just gonna need to make an episode of like
Us tasting different s'mores? That's a
us
great
trying
idea.
different s'mores. That would be so freaking good.
All right, future video.
Future video on the channel. Stay tuned for that. That's good. We're gonna do it just because I'm hungry. I'm getting hungry just talking about this.
One summer, we'll do that.
But camping is awesome. I think everybody needs to go camping. All the memories that we've made, we haven't even dented into the memories that we have of camping. We could probably do
Oh,
another
yeah,
episode.
yeah. What?
We're going to do another
episode
on
next week.
on backpacking, because I've got some stories to share about
I got some
backpacking.
stories about like camping on the beach, dude.
Ooh. Stay tuned. Like if you like.
Share if you care,
And
and subscribe for more awesomeness.